All right, here we are for the first round. And yeah, we're going to play first. Sure. Yeah, this is actually decent. I mean, I don't like using Hammerhand just to make Sungrace Pegasus a 2/3 lifelink flyer, but a 2/3 lifelink flyer is very good. So if that is our worst case scenario, that's it. All right, so let's play this. And then Sungrace Pegasus, and then Lightning Strike we're going to have to probably keep for anything really egregious. Because Sungrace Pegasus does a pretty good job of racing in the air. Like, it'll do a good job. Yeah, like we're not going to Lightning Strike the Bronze Sable here, for example. I do think I'm going to Hammerhand the Pegasus here, though. We just don't really have a whole lot going on for a while. I'm not going to wait to Scrapyard Mongrel to give it haste or something silly. I'm just going to use up some mana and a card this turn. And like I said, I don't really like making plays like this, but because if he untaps and kills our Sungrace Pegasus, we're very, very unhappy. But there's not a lot of ways he can do that realistically. We'll take this hit. We're just not worried about taking damage on the ground from something like this. We're more worried about like a Netcaster Spider or something along those lines. Bzz. Wayfinder, okay. And a Sliver, okay. Do I want to trade Scrapyard Mongrel for Venom Sliver? I don't think so. So let's just keep chipping away here. And let's just use up our mana on Paragon. I can always play Generator Servant and give it haste next turn. Why am I not blocking with my Mongrel here? If he uses a trick to kill it, that's fine. If he kills the Paragon, our Mongrel still survives anyway, so... Yeah, 2 for 1 with Gather Courage? Sure. That sounds like a plan to me. Okay, I think I can Generator Servant, give it haste and attack here. He doesn't have any great blocks. He has to trade that thing for it. And then if he does, we can start attacking with our Paragon. We don't get to play Raise the Alarm this turn as a result, but I'm okay with that. What is this? Obnix? What costs 6? Oh, 7. It's a worm? Okay. Worm's fine. Worm he can't really attack with anyway. Even just trading 5 damage for 2 isn't great for him at this point. Cone. What does Cone do here? Anything? Well, I can't cast it for starters, but what does it do to the game? One thing that we have to keep in mind is that we can do 3 to him with the Cone, so if I can just get him close enough, then he'll die. All right, let's just attack with the Pegasus and play our Raise the Alarm. We don't really have any other options anyway, but we'll see if Cone of Flame changes anything. Can attack with the Worm? Okay. Your choice. Maybe you got another one. 8. Oh, you got Feral Invocation. Oh, it is just another worm. No, this works out well. Still can't cast either of these, but thanks to the Sungrace Pegasus just sort of happily riding the skies, we've got our life total at 25, even after having just taken 5 from the worm and really just not feeling threatened by 2 siege worms somehow. I think you can really only attack with one of them here. Guess I was wrong. Rhino. Okay. Interesting. Land? Land. All right. So what's our play here? We can get rid of Satyr Wayfinder. So we do 1 to Wayfinder. 3 to him. That puts him to 5. And then we attack with everything. He has to block the golem and he dies. The question is, where do I want the 2 damage to go? I suppose it goes 3, or as I should read, 1, 2, 3. Quick note here. I had a mistake, an embarrassing, horrible mistake that I made where I was going to 3 for 1 my opponent. in a draft, and instead of doing 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage, I was doing 3 damage, 2 damage, 1 damage. So instead of 3 for 1ing, I killed 2 out of the 3 creatures, and the last one killed me. Just be careful with that. It is 1, 2, 3. So what I think we do is we go 1, 2, 3. He's still just going to trade here anyway. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. But as long as we do 1 here and 3 here, we can kill him. Changes. Why are you so bad, Wall of Fire? If you were an 06, I would actually bring you in. So Blastfire Bolt is a card I consider bringing in here. The second one of those. We've seen a worm, and a rhino. And our removal suite's not really great at that. I mean, yes, we have a Devouring Light that can kill it, and that's really good. Super happy for that. But Cone of Flame doesn't deal with those things. Lightning Strike doesn't deal with those things. So it's under consideration for us to bring in another Blastfire Bolt so that we try to have access to one of those. Just because if we get off to a slower start, we can beat most of the stuff that he has, but we can't beat that. So I think I'm going to go Blastfire Bolt in, Hammerhand out, which is something I don't normally do. I don't want to bring in a 6 for a 1, but I do think that we need these. Well, we've got to mulligan this one. Don't know if we keep this or not. We've got a pretty decent curve. 2 5-drops isn't going to get it done, but we can cast most of our stuff. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm a little sketched out by it. I think this is one of those borderline hands. It's just, I think at some point, you also just need to have faith in the fact that you built a deck that has a reasonable mana curve, and as long as things don't go horribly awry, I mean, if you just draw lands, you're dead no matter what. I get that. But, like, it's just one of those things where it just feels to me like if I built a good curve deck and I draw, let's say, the next 5 cards off the top of my deck, I'm going to have some 2s, some 3s, some 4s, something like that. Without running horrible, I should be okay. So I'll often make those borderline-ish keeps. I mean, because it's a pretty good top end. This is a terrible, awkward draw. Get nothing because we took out the Hammerhand. Yes, I still want to use the ability. And okay. Sad face. Go. We will trade it off, though. At least we had a play. We're going to block the Bronze Sable with it. And maybe we hit a Lightning Strike to kill the Netcaster Spider. Maybe we just curve out into like Thundering Giant and then eventually put a Spectra Ward on something. That works too. Like I could just put it on Sungrace Pegasus and be pretty happy. Interesting attack. What is this? Oh, geez, Haunted Plate Mail. That's actually not too bad for us, I don't think. Because he's got to put it on something. And now that he has the Bronze Sable dead, which is really what we wanted, eventually our creature's going to have protection from whatever it is. But it's a big hit. Like if he just suits it up here and just hits us for 6, it's like, ouch. Puts us in a little bit more of a standoff situation. Ooh, I can draw my Blastfire Bolt. I would take that. All right, so here's the first decision point. Do we just slam Spectra Ward? And if so, how does this game play out? So if we play it on the Sungrace Pegasus, it is lifelink and basically untouchable, which should basically just shore up the ground. I think if we start attacking, we go to 14, he goes to 16, he attacks us for 6 down to 8, we attack him. Down to 13, we go back up to 11, he attacks us. Down to 5, we attack him to 10. Yeah, he's just staying ahead, I think, enough to get us there. So I think we just Spectra Ward here, and then put it on the Pegasus. And then just attack with the Griffin and just leave it back. And then this gives us some time to find a Blastfire Bolt, some lands, whatever. It's close. It's just that once we start attacking, we kind of put ourselves into this spiral where we have to respect this thing. But pretty lucky that we have 2 Blastfire Bolts somewhere around our deck now that we've seen he's got a pretty nice rare. piece of equipment. Oh, God. That is one way we can lose this game, so I'm quite happy to see that one go away. Though I will say that at some point we can start attacking with this and then just chumping. Like I can just like, you know, if I draw like a raise the alarm, that's like 2 full turns off. That's 6 life. That actually just puts us back ahead. In fact, I'm considering attacking with the Pegasus here because now I think we might actually just have enough chump blocks. So yeah, I'm going to start attacking. Because we only need 1 or 2 chump blocks total to throw the race off. And this way we can play Pegasus now, not chump block. In fact, now I'm getting 4. Now actually he can't race us. I didn't even think about that. So this is pretty good for us because if it lures him into an attack with this, then we get to Thundering Giant on the crackback as well, and we're hitting him way harder. Yeah, this race favors us now. So onward to victory, hopefully. Make a worm. He's going to prey on our Razorfoot Griffin. He still can't do this. Yeah, I mean, not prey, hunt. And then 10 us. Puts us to 4, but we gain 4 back. We go back up to 8. He attacks us for 7. We also hit him. So let's see. We can hit him for 7. We can hit him for 8. I think this works out for us. So what happens here is he hits us for 10. We go to 4. We play Thundering Giant, attack with everything. We hit for 4, 7, 8. But we gain 4, so we go back up to 8 as well. So that puts him down to 6. We pass the turn. Let's say he doesn't have anything. He's got 7 power on the, or 8 power on the battlefield. Oh, wait. 4, 7, 8. That drops him to 6. We're going to 4. Oh, so he has exactly lethal then? Yeah, so then he's actually got exactly lethal, so that doesn't work for us. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here then is chump block here to maintain our life total and see what we draw as well. I can get in for a bunch of damage on this turn, though. Servant. That's good. So I can 7 him. That's half of his life. He has 8 coming back. I don't know how risky that is. Is that too greedy? I mean, he really can't beat this. I'm going to be at 14. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 if he has Overwhelm. God, am I really going to just play around Overwhelm here? Could also just Thundering Giant him and just leave back the Pegasus. I'm going to do that. So that way I Thundering Giant him, I leave back the Pegasus, he doesn't have any reasonable attacks. Then I get to attack the next turn with my Pegasus, because now I've got a Generator Servant to chump block again, just in case. I'm playing very safely here. Like I don't want to put myself in a position where I've got a Sungrace Pegasus with Spectra Ward on it and I throw away the game. Like he's going to have such a hard time winning this game. Like he can't even attack here. It doesn't do anything. Also, if I ever draw one of my 2 Blastfire Bolts, the game should end more or less immediately at that point. So now I think I attack here and play Generator Servant. Because this puts me to 14. And I'll have 2 blockers down. Feel pretty safe there. Yeah, there's not much he can do here. Like, he's got to get in for 14, but he's got to do it kind of tricky, and he's only got 2 cards to do it with. Like, if he plays Overwhelm, I have easy decisions because I get to just see what's happening since it's a sorcery. And if he just, like, attacks with everything here, he's risking just dying. Like, I just block this thing, and then get him if I'm worried about some pump spell or whatever. So let's see what he came up with for his play. Oh, he did decide to attack with everything. All right, so we're going to block here. And let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He could do... He needs 2 pump spells to really punish me here. No, I'll just trade off. That's fine. We have lethal. Maybe a Covenant of Blood. A Siege Worm. It's interesting. All right, well, I think that's going to slow me down. If I attack, I go to 11, but he's got 11 power on board. Actually, maybe that doesn't slow me down. So if I attack and go to 11, what are his... He's got 1 card left. Let's just assume that he doesn't draw, you know, the perfect. What's the most he can do? Like, I can chump block here, take 5, and I'll be at 11, so I'll go to 6. Yeah, I don't think there's much he can do. Like, Covenant of Blood's a card I'm worried about, but this we play around that perfectly here. We don't lose to Overwhelm in this scenario. We don't lose to Titanic Growth. I haven't figured out if we lose to combinations of those cards, but, you know, bust out the big calculator on that one anyway. Sure, we'll play around 2 Titanic Growths. He's drawn well here. We need a spell. Paragon. Paragon forces a trade here and leaves us with a chump blocker for this. So he eats one of these. We block that. Yeah, that makes sense. We go to 14. He's down a creature. We have a blocker. I like this. So he has to kill us here. What a nice guy. That's a tough thing to say. Like, when you lose, it's never fun. I don't care who you're playing against. And being that gracious is says a lot about our good friend Beardy Plays. We'll see you guys in the second round.